Hello everybody and welcome. This is a video showing how to make a drop trap in Minecraft. Once you find a dungeon that's preferably close to the surface, you'd normally need it at least about 30 high, so in other words Y30 if you press your F3. Just look at the height on the left hand side there, and just has to be a bit higher for it to work, but I'll show you how you get started on this. So if you come down, I'll just show you what a couple of us built on our server. We were digging around and we actually managed to find there was a skeleton trap, dungeon right here, right at the top of the map, so it was really good for us. And we decided to turn this into our first dungeon that would actually be able to feed us. Luckily it's skeleton, that's probably one of the best ones, getting lots of arrows and bones out of it to use for your own personal good. So we actually found it at the top there, and we started digging down and down and down to make them fall to their death. And we actually found another skeleton dungeon right below there, so that worked out great for us. Then we started from there and actually started digging down and down and down and down, and believe it or not, we actually found a third skeleton dungeon right at the bottom. Unfortunately, we had to kill that, because otherwise at the bottom map they're doing nothing. They're just sitting there and they're bugging us, so we actually had to finish that one off and kill it. But as you could probably see, and you may have just seen the last couple victims there, skeletons spawn on there. They simply fall sometimes onto the lower ledge like that guy, and then they're pushed off with tiny little water to be able to fall to their demise. And I made a short little trip down to the bottom here for easy access. Oh yeah. If we go to the bottom, we will see that it has been doing its job quite well, and I have a lot of bones and arrows just sitting there for me already. To make this, you normally start off with the dungeon and you just kind of light everything up so nothing will spawn for a while, nothing will interrupt you. If dungeons are bright, then you've got no problem at all being able to mess around inside there. Let me get a little bit higher. Allow me. Simply, you can see I just have water, one stream of water going around and pushing these guys off. I managed to get into the ledge, but I'll only save them for just a minute, and it'll eventually push them off to the edge. And the way that you are able to replicate this without the water going everywhere, flooding off to the bottom. If the water floods to the bottom, they'll just simply cushion at the bottom and they won't plummet to their death. So you simply start by allowing the water to hug its way through, and to be able to go 5 blocks before it falls somewhere. And I can show you how to do that right now. If you wander over to here. So this is a fake dungeon that I created just because I can't find any more right now. I'm all used up on these. So pretend this is a little spawner box and there's stupid spiders or skeletons and everything spawning everywhere. First thing you do is you light the place up real good so nothing will spawn anymore. Ta-da! You got yourself a secure room. And then by funneling out, you could possibly make this 5 wide. I just figured it was easier to make it 3 wide. You funnel it out just so you're forcing the skeletons to spawn in a certain area. They won't spawn on absolute nothingness. They won't spawn on air at all. Apparently they like ground. Makes sense. So now they're going to spawn in this area. Pretend this is plummeting to their death over here. And then you put a little rail on the side as well. And the reason for this is you're going to want water to go a certain way. And that'll tell it to go in one direction. So you don't want them flooding off the side, because then water will flood off the side and that's just messy and annoying. And I find it takes up too much room of the dungeon. You just want them to go short ways and then plummet to their death. So to be able to do this, you simply punch a hole in the wall in the back, and then punch a hole in the wall normally around here, normally around this area here or so. Grab your bucket of water, and as we know, water likes to find the closest area to be able to sink in, which is usually 5 blocks away maximum. So if I put water in here, it's going to go around, it's going to find the shortest path, and it's going to go down into here, and it's not going to flood anywhere else at all. So let's go ahead and plug, and there we go, and it finds its way right there. Now, we've also found out that it's reached its maximum end, so if I... Nope, that wasn't right. I capped this off. We're going to find it's at the end, and then we can just start chipping away the edge. And that will now, that is perfect for skeletons to be able to spawn all over here. They'll spawn in the water, usually, rarely on top of the water. I think only in a shallow end. I think they got something against spawning in deep water. And on the edges, and the second they walk into here, they'll be lucky if they can get back on, but they'll most likely just walk into here and be pushed off into their edge. Plummet to their death, and as we see down here, I made just a small viewing window up here just so I could sit there and watch. They seem to like to follow me. When they see me, they'll walk towards me and plummet to their death even quicker, and both of them are pointing the same way. So sinking all the way down to the bottom. I don't know if you can hear my dog making a bunch of noise in the background, but he says hey. And at the bottom we have a whole bunch of arrows and bones. So hopefully you guys are able to create something. Like I said, it has to be usually about 30 blocks high, because you only take damage once you fall from the third block, and for each block you fall, you lose half a point of health. So realistically, a mob should drop, a skeleton should drop 23 blocks for it to die in one hit. And I think zombies and spiders have more or less the same as well. You won't find a creeper dungeon, that'll just blow itself up. Yeah, it's usually at least 23 minimum points of falling, blocks of falling, and then they'll die from that point. And these guys just usually get double, a double hit on their way down. They may fall and die here, and then just go to the bottom and die again. So yeah, hopefully this is a good tutorial for anyone who wants to create a dungeon, a trap out of a dungeon that will be a good farm for them. See you later.